Alright, so we are doing dessert today. I have kind of wanted to do this one for a minute. It's tough to do healthy desserts without going overboard, and I don't like the whole using of protein powder this, and it's just, that's fake, that's bullcrap. No. There's got to be desserts out there that are healthier or close enough to as healthy as it's going to get, and just enjoyable without tasting like crap. And using a bunch of fake stuff, and it's just a good, solid dessert. So, today, we're doing something that I've wanted to do for a hot minute, baked apples. That's what we're doing today. So, let's get started. Alright, so I have here 2 Honeycrisp apples, and the reason I'm doing 2 is just for recipe's sake. If you want to leave these guys whole, and then what you'll do is basically go until you get to the bottom, and you won't go all the way through, but use one of these guys. This is a little core. I used this to do my jalapeno poppers. I think they'll look nicer cut in half and decored. So yeah, we're going to turn them into like little apple bowls. But literally you're just going to cut these guys in half. And again, I'm using Honeycrisp. And then just carefully go through. And I'm using the guide of the stem to cut them out. And like I said, just shave them out. And you'll make little bowl. Like so. And I went ahead and washed them already. But then I want a deep pan. I'm just using a cake pan. Don't judge me. Because then we're going to fill this up with a little bit of water to help steam the apples and keep them from burning before they're done. So, go ahead and decore your apples cored. So we're going to set these guys off to the side, and let's make our mix. Now, the nice thing about the dessert is, depending on what you use, you could technically label this as a high protein dessert. Only if you add the certain things that you add, but makes it a slightly higher calorie dessert, you choose. So, to kind of aid in that, we're going to use walnuts. Why? Because they have a little bit more protein than anything like pecans or whatever. And they're better in a way. They have a little bit more to them. So we're going to use some pecans, and we're going to use about 30 grams or a quarter cup of chopped up pecans. And just give them a rough chop. Walnuts will also bake pretty well too, which is kind of nice. But you want to make sure that they are unsalted walnuts. That is important. Okay. We'll put this in our mixing bowl. And I think that's pretty much all the chopping. Okay, next we're going to put a quarter cup of rolled oats. Next we're going to put about a teaspoon of cinnamon. Then we're going to put a quarter teaspoon of nutmeg. Next we're going to put a quarter cup of honey. And then lastly, a tablespoon of olive oil. Alright, and then give that a good mix. This will basically turn into a very good smelling paste. Alright, now let's fill our apples. Alright, there's our apples. I went ahead and put about a quarter cup, maybe a little bit more than a quarter cup of water in the bottom of the pan. This will help steam the apples. It'll keep the bottoms from burning. And it'll help kind of create a steam bath, per se, to help cook the apples without burning the tops. So, I have my oven set to 375. We're going to throw these in and keep an eye on them, but we're going to aim for hopefully about 30 to 40 minutes or until you can stick a fork through them. And they'll be pretty obvious to tell if they're soft or not. It's apples, but you should be able to stick a fork through it, and then they're done. And then in the meantime, we're going to make kind of our ice cream slash whip topping, whatever you want to call it. But let's throw these bad puppies in there. Alright, so our apples are just about done, so let's go ahead and make our topping. So, this is going to be pretty simple. But because it's just me and I'm not doing a whole lot, we're going to use a quarter cup of plain Greek yogurt, a half teaspoon of cinnamon, a quarter teaspoon of nutmeg, just a splash of vanilla. And then if you want to, instead of adding sugar, you can add a teaspoon of honey. I'm not going to because there's plenty of sugar on the apples, so we're just going to keep it this way. But give this a good mix. All right, maybe just a little bit of honey. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, there's that. We're going to set him in the fridge until our apples are done. We got about 10 to 15 minutes left, but then we'll check on our apples and try them out. All right, we went about 45 minutes, but those smell amazing and look yummy. the dish. So I'm gonna take just a little bit of my, whatever you wanna call it, ice cream topping, whatever, just to give it something to stick, mainly for thumbnail purposes. But I'm gonna go one here and one there. Oh yeah. I'm gonna take just a little bit of the liquid and pour it over the apple. Some of that cinnamon apple goodness. Yes, I know it's mostly water, but who cares? All right, and then we're gonna put a little bit of our yogurt on top. All right, let's eat. All right, I don't even know how to dig into this. So we're just gonna go get a little bit of everybody. Cheers. Oh yeah. Honestly, the toasted walnuts are probably the best thing out of all of this. Now, obviously, the Greek yogurt's kind of nice. With how much sweetness there is, it adds a little bit of tanginess to it. It's, if you move past the fact that it's yogurt, and with the sweetness and the liquid of the apple, and kind of everything else in it, it almost tastes like melted ice cream. Now, obviously I know that it's not, and I'm not even really saying that for effect. Like, it almost tastes like you put melted vanilla ice cream on top of this. This is fire. And that skin gets so soft, and it just makes it easier to work with, and everything just smells good. This is very nice. This is very, very nice. I'm also a whore and a half for anything apples and cinnamon, so there's that too. But this satisfies that sweet tooth. Yes. All right, guys, there you have it. Healthy baked apples. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, and you're new, make sure you hit that sub button, throw a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and as always, peace out, and I will see you guys in the next one.